This moment when Marlin thought that Nemo was dead is absolutely perfect, and here's why.
Nemo.
Oh my goodness.
For those of you who somehow don't know, Finding Nemo released in 2003, and Disney has been milking it ever since.
Are you kind of like that, dude?
It's a deceptively simple story about a father trying to save his son, but to truly showcase why this moment when Nemo is dead is so perfect, we need to understand the story and its structure.
I am under the water. Please help me.
The first part of any story is the setup, or Act 1. This is the part of the film or the literature that teaches us about the characters, tells us about the story, and delivers what the drama will be going forward. One of the best parts of Finding Nemo is, shockingly, the first 5 minutes. We get a quick glimpse of Marlin's life with his wife before an evil long boy comes and eats them all up, except for Nemo.
No, Corey, don't. They'll be fine. Just get inside you right now.
Who just so happens to be the last fish Marlin's wife named before she got torn to pieces.
Okay, we're done.
I like Nemo.
Nemo? Well, we'll name one Nemo, but I'd like most of them to be Marlin Jr.
What I love about this brief moment is how it informs the remainder of the film. We didn't know who Marlin was before this vicious attack, but we don't need to because of what he becomes after it.
You're scared of the ocean.
Clearly you're not ready, and you're not coming back until you are. You think you can do these things, but you just can't, Nemo.
We learn very quickly who or what he became after the attack. He's scared of the same thing happening again if he or Nemo takes too many risks. So he's horribly overprotective to the point of not allowing Nemo to grow up. He doesn't even want him to go to school out of fear that something bad could happen.
How many stripes do I have?
I'm fine.
Answer the stripe question.
3.
No! See, something's wrong with you. I have 1, 2, 3. That's all I have.
Bad look for Marlin, but of course, Nemo suffers from this overactive parenting too. Being coddled has made him soft as hell. He screams out for his dad's help like a bitch whenever things get tough. Yet this coddling is completely suffocating to the point that he also will lash out, culminating in the next plot point of a film's structure: the catalyst. The catalyst is the next beat of a story. It's usually around the 12-minute mark of a film or the 12-page mark in a script, and it is just the story getting kicked off. It gives us a brief idea of what the drama will be for the rest of the film, even if we're not fully into the drama yet.
Don't touch the Nemo!
He touched the butt.
Nemo goes and touches the big butt to spite his dad. He screams for help when a diver snatches him up, and Marlin races off after the boat. It's an absolutely perfect catalyst because it's informed by the characters. The story doesn't just start, it's sparked by the characters. It makes sense that Nemo would spite his dad, and it makes sense that his dad is overprotective, beautifully setting up the story of Marlin racing against time to finding Nemo.
I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my boy!
From this point, film structure tells us that we need to have a debate, a break into two, the fun in the games, the midpoint false low and false high, bad guys closing in, and finally, the all is lost moment. All of these moments Finding Nemo nails absolutely perfectly, but the third act low point, or the all is lost moment, is where Finding Nemo really shines. This is a moment that happens in 99% of films, but so many fail to produce a moment that's as powerful as the one in Finding Nemo. This is where the characters are at their lowest point. Nothing could be worse. The mission, the story, the race, whatever your film is about, is now over. They've lost. It's time to give up. Or so it seems. It's a tricky moment to pull off, since yelling at your animal friend to leave is cliche, and losing your MacGuffin is pretty tired.
Just get out of here, you stupid, dumb animal!
This is where Finding Nemo stands head and shoulders above most animated films and most films in general. The brilliance of this film is in its two plots that parallel each other until they intersect at the exact right moment, creating the all is lost moment. Marlin fights tooth and nail through jellyfishes, sharks, and dude bro sea turtles to get his son, only to be too late. He finally gets to the dentist's office and sees his son floating belly up. Marlin, Dory, and the pelican guy all come to the same horrible conclusion that Nemo is dead. The adventure is over. All of this has been for nothing. A pretty great all is lost moment on its own. However, where Nemo excels is with its B story, Nemo's escape.
After you were taken by Diver Dan over there, your dad followed the boat you were on like a maniac.
Really?
He's swimming and he's swimming and he's giving it all he's got, and then 3 gigantic sharks capture him and he blows him up.
He, along with the other creatures in the dentist aquarium, try fruitlessly to escape over and over again, only to finally pull it off the moment Marlin shows up to save Nemo, who is playing dead in the hopes of being flushed back to the ocean to get back to his dad. Both stories have their separate characters and separate motivations that will drive the action of that story. And of course, both have their separate character arcs that will overlap at this exact right moment. From the beginning, Finding Nemo has done an excellent job of giving these characters motivation based on what they've gone through.
Can't do it!
Gil, this isn't a good idea.
You'll be fine. Try again.
Okay.
That's it, Shark Bay. Nice and steady.
The entire story wouldn't have happened if the opening scene didn't happen. The all is lost moment wouldn't have happened if they didn't have something to overcome only to seemingly come up short. If Marlin didn't lose his wife and all of his kids, he might not be an overprotective parent. If Nemo wasn't babied constantly, he might not have gone to touch the butt. Their arc and the challenges they overcome are all informed by that moment. The opening scene informs what happens and gives them both a hurdle to overcome. Nemo attempts to escape his captivity, forcing him not to depend on his father or anyone else and grow into someone that can do difficult things.
Sharkbait!
Are you okay? Can you hear me, Sharkbait? Nemo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Marlin traverses the entire ocean to find his son, overcoming his fear of the ocean while learning to let people close to him do things without letting his intrusive thoughts stop them.
You can't speak whale!
Yes, I can!
No, you can't! You think you can do these things, but you can't, Nemo!
All leading to the moment where they have both learned everything they need to, yet Nemo is dead. It's the perfect moment because of how these stories have been balanced, and it almost takes their arcs away. What is the point of the things they've learned if they don't use those skills? From here, you have to stick the landing. Finding Nemo has executed an absolutely perfect pommel horse routine, and now it's flying through the air trying to land without falling over.
Do this skill numerous times to know when it is the necessary time in order to get your sticking position.
We get this wonderful moment when Nemo reunites with his father, giving us the found in Finding Nemo. However, Nemo gets quickly scooped up by this fishing net with Dory, a horrible coincidence that just so happens to allow Nemo and Marlin to put into action what they learned.
It's the only way we can save Dory! I can do this!
You're right. I know you can.
Marlin is forced to believe in Nemo without smothering him, and Nemo can prove he can do hard things by paying off the swim down moment from earlier in the film.
Everybody jump in.
Swim down!
That's it! What the?
Everything has worked up to this point in the movie, the true climax. Our characters have finally learned who they should be, displayed their change, and can live happily ever after now, which we see in the epilogue.
Time for school, time for school! Get up, let's go, let's go! I'm gonna win!
No, you're not! I did it!
Oh, my own son beats me!
That is the brilliance of Finding Nemo, and at the end of the day, it's all because of the opening scene. So much hinges on that moment, from the character arcs to the story itself. Because of that moment, Finding Nemo becomes a character-driven work of art, beautifully communicating the difficulties of parenting and the unintended consequences of treating our children like babies their whole lives.
Oh my goodness!
Whoa, kill the motor, dude. Let us see what Squirt does flying solo.
It's a high point, not just in Pixar's legacy, but in animation in general. It's a gorgeous movie to this day, and manages to be incredibly rewatchable with its clever sense of humor.
I'm H2O intolerant. I'm obnoxious.
Massive set pieces. And characters that aren't just memorable, but downright brilliant.